everyone. So welcome back to the channel. So today we'll be solving a new problem, that is divide array into equal parts. So in this question we have given a couple of things. So the first thing is that we have given in this array nums, right? So in this array we have 2 into n integers. It means that we suppose we have three integers or three length of integers, then we will have the array would be 3 into 2, that is 6 number of integers. So I'll show you how. So next step is that we are given each element to exactly one pair. It means that, so one pair means that 3 comma 2, that can be one pair, 2 comma 3, that can be one pair, 2 comma 2, 3 comma 2, and so on. These can be the number of pairs that can. Okay, moving ahead. So next part is that the elements present in the pair are equal. So this is the another condition that, okay, so we have given a pair 3 comma 2. So is this valid? No, this is not valid because we have to give the pair that is equal. It means we have to be given 3 comma 3 and 2 comma 2, just like that. So this is the problem statement. So what we have to return for the acceptance criteria? So the acceptance criteria is that we have to return true if these nums can be divided into n pairs. It means that the n, like suppose in this example we have 3 2 3 2 2 2. Okay, so this example what we have to do is that we have to divide it in n pairs. So this n means that we have n number of integers which are appearing twice, right? So suppose in this example we have the unique pair would be 3 comma 3, sorry, the same pair, right? So we will cancel out these two, right? Then we have 2 comma 2, we have taken that, so we'll cancel out these two also. After that we have only one pair left, that is 2 comma 2, right? So these are the three pairs that would be there. Okay, so moving ahead we have the same thing, that 1 2 3 4. So there's no way that we can find the equal number of pairs, right? Equal pairs. So 1 comma 2, there's no chance that it can happen, so we don't have any one in the array, so we will simply return false. So this is the problem statement that we are given. Dive into the intuition part. So in this question, so I have taken this array 3 2 3 2 2 2. So what the intuition is that, so what we have to do, we have to find the equal pairs, right? We have to find the equal number of pairs. So to find the equal pairs, what we have to do, we have to select one element, right? So we have to check in the next part of the array that, oh, okay, so if this element exists, so we'll start with 3. So if we will check 2 or 3, this it exists, so we will say okay, then we can make a pair out of it. Okay, so what we have to do, we can simply just change the values, or we can take another array to store the values. Like for the 0 index we have some value, so we'll say okay, that is that for 0 index we have seen, so it would be kind of any random value like -1 or 0, whatever you take. So what I'm thinking is that we can just, for the brute force approach, we can simply replace it with 0, right? Because we have seen it. So in the next condition, whatever we will see, we'll just check that, okay, if the value is equal, right? It means the array of I is equal to the array of j. Okay, array of j would be the next part of it. So we have to take two loops. The first, which will iterate, right? The second array would check for the other part of the array. Okay, so this is equal, and the next condition would be, because we are storing the zeros in it also. Okay, so that we have seen these elements, so we will check that, okay, if this is equal and the array of I is not equal to which element, 0, right? It means that we haven't seen this array, so we will simply mark it with 0. The same way, the array I and array j, we will mark it with 0. This is the intuition for the brute force part. I'll simply write the code quickly. I have written this code. So in this code, we are simply traversing from the ith index, right? So we will start with here and we will traverse till len minus 1 because the second part we will traverse with this j array. Okay. So this, do you understand this I part, right? So after that we will move to the j part, then next element. So suppose the I is here, then j will start from the next element, that is 2. Okay. So it will check that, okay, if nums I is equal to the nums j, no, it is not. Then it will traverse to the next one. So is it 3 is equals to 3? So what it will do is that we will check the condition that, okay, if num j is not equal to 0, yes, it is not equal to 0 because we haven't seen this array. Okay, seen these array elements. Then after that, we will just simply change the values of num I and num j so that we have seen these two elements and we have found the pair. Okay, after that we'll move ahead and we'll do the things for all the arrays, right? So this is a brute force approach, so I won't be explaining a lot of it. So after that, if all the elements are 0, it means we have seen all the elements and make the pair for each of them. So then we will return simply true. If that's not the case, then we will simply return false. Okay, so whenever, like, if there is any element left, so for that example we had 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4. So in this case we won't change any value in it. So in this case, so our sum would be greater than 0, right? It won't be equal to 0. That's why we will return simply false, right? But as you can see, the time complexity of this is n square. So because this is an easy problem, so that's why it is accepted, as I'll show you. So this is the code that I have written and it is being accepted. But there is also a better way to do it. If you can think of a approach that will take big of n time, I'll give you a time and just pause this video and think of the solution that, okay, how can we use this information that we have provided, that with scene element, scene values, we have to check for each value if this exists or we have seen it. So just think about it. So now coming back to the question. So for the better approach, we have to check that, okay, if we'll start with 3, if this element, we have this information that, okay, we have 2 into n elements, right? So it is obvious that all the pairs, if there is a pair, that it will exist in a multiple of 2, suppose 3 cos 3, right? Or 3 comma 2, if you can say, right? So this 3 comma 3, this will appear in the pair, so that it means the number of count of this 3 would equal to 2, right? Because it is in pair. Pair means that it can be as divisible of 2, right? Yes, it would be a divisible of 2. Next, for example, this 2 comma 2, this is one pair. Then we have another pair 2 comma 2. Okay, so this 2, how many elements or how many times it is appearing? It is 4. Now if this is a modulus of 2, it means that, okay, it is returning 0. So it means that, okay, it is appearing in the form of pair. Okay, so this is the information that we have. So for the next one, let's see this one. Okay, 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4. So we will check that, okay, how many times one appear? One appears for one time only. It is not modulus by 2. It means that this won't have a pair. So if any array element is not having a pair, so after that we will simply return false, right? After that we will check for other elements also. Let's see for 2. How many elements we have? Only one. It will fail. 3 again, fail. 4 again, fail, right? So the moment we see an element that is not divisible by 2, we'll simply return false, right? So this is the intuition for that. And if you're wondering that how can we check the element, right? So we will simply use a hash map or a dictionary element, right? That will simply store the values of how many times this 3 is appearing, and we will store it in our dictionary elements. Like this 3, so this 3 is appearing twice, this 2 is appearing 4 times, right? So we will simply iterate through this dictionary element, sorry. So we will check for each one that, okay, is 2 modulus 2, it is returning 0, so it is divisible by 2. We'll move ahead. We'll check for 4, okay, is it modulus by 2 gives 0, it is, then we will move ahead. After that, when we didn't find any value that is conflicting or that is not returning 0, then we will simply return true. If it is returning, then we will simply return the false. Okay. I'll simply write the code for it so that you can understand it better. Let's start writing the code. So in Python, we can use there's a collection. So this what counter will do, this counter will simply return us the dictionary elements, right? So dictionary elements as you return num, so it will return the number of counts that number is appearing. So this three, how much times it is appearing, I'll simply print it so that you can understand better. So this three is appearing two times, right? So it will return two. See, this is returning true, and this is appearing four times, this two, so it is returning four. So this is the shortcut of it, or you can also use another method like simply traversing through the array and storing it in value three and plus 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 like that. So you can do that too. Now moving ahead, so we will simply traverse the array. Okay, not array, sorry, actually we will traverse the dictionary elements. Okay, so to traverse the array we will simply use the dictionary element traverse through the value, so it will traverse through the value. So I have printed the value, so this is how you will get the output 2, and then you have 4. Okay, so we just don't need the other values like the key, we don't need it, we just simply have to traverse through the values. So if the values, if we will check if the value modulus 2 is equals to 0, it means that it is a divisible by 2, but we have to check for the different case. If it is not the divisible by 2, okay, then what we will do, we will simply return the value false. And if that's not the case, we will simply return the value as true, right? So that way we haven't found any value that is not a pair. So this is accepted. So now let's just simply submit it. As you can see, this is submitted and it is quite optimal, right? So this is the intuition and the code for this problem. So if you have any problem or any issues with it or any suggestions, you can simply drop that in the comment section. So thank you everyone. So I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.